What's up, friends?
Darian, are you trying to find something good to say after my clean snapback?
It's not a clean because I literally said it in the thing that I was
Hey
having
guys.
issues.
Hey guys, we're recording now. Excellent. Well, hello. I'm
We are recording now?
Alex. Yeah, we're
Oh,
recording. Hey, I'm Alex or Moriarty because I guess
oh,
that's the name
apparently
of
we're
all my
live.
things. We're live. Hey, what's up? I just hit that
Thor
button.
2 tier.
Oh, this is. Mm.
Alrighty.
Great
Uh,
start, guys.
so I created this. Yeah, Christina showed me a video where they did this. They didn't have an F tier, so I made one. I made the Thor 2 tier. Um, they also like I strongly disagreed with what they tiered a lot of things at. So I thought maybe I'd get us together. We'd maybe start this one. I'm gonna make the first. I'm gonna do the first move here. Where is it?
I just wanted to put a disclaimer that I've only seen like half of
Yeah, it's true. Christina's only seen half of them. I think everybody else has seen all of them. There we go. But Thor
Uh,
2.
Am I
I've, I've
supposed?
seen I've seen most of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Otherwise, I've seen all of them.
I've seen all of them.
And I'm dumb opinionated because I don't care if a movie is good. If a movie is fun, it's fun.
Yeah. So
I
let's really quickly establish. Sorry. Go ahead, Darren.
I was gonna ask, am I supposed to be looking at something?
Yeah. If you go to
Oh, go
twitch.tv.
on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'll
What?
link it.
Go on
He's
twitch.tv.
streaming it on Twitch. I'll link you. There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Just because it's the easiest way to share my screen. Cool. I think we should define the tiers here now. I mean, Thor 2 is for, I think, just true trash garbage, right? I
Oh, is
think.
that that's Dark
I
World,
don't know,
right?
man.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. They had a real ass conlang, like whole ass constructed language for the Dark Elves, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a
And also
shame.
Christopher Eccleston was one.
Yeah, it's a shame they didn't let him act or make that, part of their culture or do anything interesting with them. I think
Yeah, too bad it was a bad movie.
too bad it was just straight trash garbage. Yeah.
It was
Uh,
trash, it was
Very
hot
bad.
ass garbage.
So
Bad movie.
here's what I'd like to define the tiers as. I think S tier is like a good movie that if it never had the Marvel branding, I think would still be considered a good movie. Uh,
All right.
A,
Okay.
Difficult, seeing as it's all Marvel, and that's my only frame of reference.
But you can look at it as like an action movie.
right,
Yeah, of course,
you've seen movies.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes. I know
So
what
says
that
you.
is.
That's what I want you to think.
I think A tier is the I'm gonna call that the chase tier. That's the this is fun. I don't know that I would watch this. I don't know that it would be as popular as it was if it didn't have this branding, but it's a good fun
Was
movie.
that a jab at me? Is that what the chase tier is?
Yes.
I thought that would be B.
No, I think I think if we make that B, then there's gonna be too little distinction between A and S to really be worthwhile. Because I think B is gonna be this is B for me is like what Marvel is, right? That's like the baseline. That's where like well put another way here. I'm gonna make another move here. You guys can tell me if you disagree with this or not. Well, Doctor Strange right in B tier, right? I think like Doctor Strange is the definition of B tier, right? Like it's good, but like the
Yeah,
main
it's good and fun, but it's not anything like spectacular or amazing.
It's
right.
definitely watchable.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
Definitely
genuinely
watchable.
enjoy Doctor Strange. I will watch that movie anytime somebody offers me to watch it.
Yeah,
Right,
definitely.
and
That's
it's
again just me.
rewatchable.
Yeah, definitely watchable. I think is what I would call B. And I think the yeah, and rewatchable is probably the distinction between B and C, right? Like C is
oh
where,
yeah,
Yeah.
C is watchable, B is rewatchable.
and then I think D
Yeah.
is like, uh,
Ugh.
that that exists, and it wasn't like I think C is like not completely unwatchable, right? But I think
Okay,
C is like
so you're
ironic
saying we're
watching.
gonna put
Right.
so you're saying we're gonna put Ant-Man and the Wasp in D tier.
Yeah, I think Ant-Man and
Yeah.
the Wasp is the key example of the D tier right there. It's like, this had good moments, I guess, but like overall, not
you
not
can't
really that
really
strong.
remember like what happened.
I don't even
Yeah,
remember the good moments. I
fell
know
asleep
they
partway through.
existed, but
All I
Um,
know is the best part is that everyone gets Thanos, and then Ant-Man is just kind of stuck.
oh
That-
wait, I liked Ghost. I
that-
did like Ghost.
yeah,
I liked
Ghost
in that one.
Ghost is good. Yeah, and the other thing that I really like about
And it
Ant-Man,
had Lawrence Fishburne.
yeah, and like the way
Yeah.
we know that Lawrence Fishburne's not a bad guy is he's like, yeah, I hate Hank Pym. He did bad. He was mean to me. He was a real jerk. And we as the audience are like, yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah, that sounds about good. Sounds about
Yeah.
right.
I can't believe Lawrence Fishburne saved the movie.
So really quickly, I'm gonna also I think we should get like defining movies in here. I'm gonna save S tiers for when we come across them naturally, but I think just quickly, I think another easy one here. C tier, I think where is it? Where's the first Thor movie? I think that's where first Thor movie goes, right?
Is it this one?
Yeah, there it is.
I would we all agree with that one?
Yeah, it was a
First
good
Thor,
setup.
it's definitely a watch once, but there's nothing for you if you're coming back to it again.
And
It's literally a good setup for Avengers. Like, it's just
yeah,
setting everything up.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I
that's
don't.
exactly what all the first movies were. Except
Yeah.
for Iron Man, it was trying to be a good movie on its own.
Ooh, I'm gonna make a controversial statement there, and I'll back that up later. But I think for the most part, well, we'll get into those. And I think like A tier. I'm gonna toss this one out here. I think A tier. This might be controversial, but I think that's like Thor Ragnarok, right?
Four from
Yeah, I
Oh
love
yeah. Ragnarok is definitely A tier, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd say A tier. Like it's fun, it's good, but I think if it didn't have all that Marvel stuff attached to it, it would not have been as widely regarded as it
No,
is.
definitely not.
because the majority of the fun moments were all Marvel related. It wasn't a standalone fun moment.
Right. Like I think.
That, and we already understand the characters of Thor and Hulk, and so it was easier to understand where the characters would be taken into different places
Yeah.
during this movie.
And I think like the other thing is like there's a lot of cool scenes there, but there's a lot of stuff they just like kind of borrowed without the context. Like they did Executioner's song, but it kind of rang hollow for me, which is the for those who are uninitiated, that's where Scourge grabs the two assault rifles and just like he's like, "Yep, probably going to die here, but I'll hold the bridge here for a while." And then it was just kind of like he didn't die, really, not or no, he did die, but like it wasn't like a great sacrifice that needed to happen because
Rest in peace, Carl Urban.
yeah, because like
Not that Carl Urban is dead, but
yeah,
I love Carl Urban. Continue.
Same.
same.
Yeah,
Good-
we all
good
love
actor.
Carl.
Yeah, good actor. Did a good job with it, but like
Yeah, Judge Dredd was good.
yeah,
Yo, he stayed like he was so in character that he just wore the helmet all the time. He was like, I'm not gonna show my face. Anyway,
Yeah.
different.
different thing,
Because he
but
wasn't
yeah.
Sylvester.
All right, cool. So let's look here. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I know where I want to put it. Christina knows where I wants to put it. Where do you guys?
I'm gonna put that C
Where you
tier.
wants to put it?
Whoa, C tier? Hold on.
C tier, yeah.
Darian, what's your
Wait.
thoughts here? And I'm gonna expound on mine because I'm honestly, that's me, right? So
Right. I think it's above C. Oh, you're put okay. Whoa, you're putting
I
it all
thought
the
we
way
were
in
leaving S tier for end. Okay.
no. I'm going down. I said S tier would come up natural. I'm just gonna
When
go
you come
go.
naturally.
Okay.
I don't know if it's S tier though.
I can
I
understand that.
definitely
It's
would not
S
say
tier.
S tier.
Here's,
I like listen. I loved it. It was good. I could rewatch it, but like I don't know if it's like standalone because it really rode the hype of the first Guardians, which was
Well,
really
It is a
Yeah,
sequel,
agreed.
but it's a
Yeah.
sequel in that it expounds upon the themes, right? The first Guardians was sort of about broken people finding each other, and this is more about family is what you make it, and like you don't necessarily need to have like just because it's your biological family, if they're abusive, you don't need to necessarily stick with them. You know what I mean? Like I think. That,
so. What Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is supposed to be?
Yeah, like it's the good version of Rise of Skywalker.
Hey man,
that's the new
If
trilogy.
this is a Marvel tier list, then where's the Star Wars?
Just put Kylo Ren at the
Sorry, no, this is not a Disney tier list. My bad.
Be thankful.
Sorry, House of Mouse.
Be thankful that Christina stopped me from putting every season of Agents of Shield on here.
Thank you, Christina.
Alex,
Yeah.
you're the only one who would know where those belong.
They.
Nobody cares about Agents of Shield but
Yeah,
you.
It's me.
you're literally the only
Although I
one.
do want to see Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I say the season
Hey,
with
where's the
Ghost.
Nick Cage Ghost Rider movies, by the way?
I did think about putting other Marvel movies on here, but I decided to stick with the MCU just because that's what I was most in debate with.
Where's Blade?
That's fair. I was gonna say, where's Blade?
Yeah.
Blade.
Daredevil?
Where
Where are the Toby?
So
Where
Gu-
are the Raimi Spider-Man films?
so Guardians of the
Oh my God.
Galaxy.
Raimi Spider-Man all S tier.
Can we
Oh, that's cute.
can we put
Not all of them.
can we
I
put
was gonna say
can we put it in A? How's that feel?
Okay, so when I came out and said C outright, that was definitely misleading because I've definitely rewatched it a bunch of times. Like, it's still a fun movie, but when it comes to what it brings to the table, oh wait, hold on, sorry. I'm thinking in context of like the MCU altogether more so than the movie by itself.
Yeah, think about the movie by itself.
Is fine.
You gotta focus on the movie.
I would put it B tier personally, but
B
A
tier?
tier is also fine.
I'm caught between A and B. I'm okay with A, but my first gut instinct was saying B. Not gonna lie.
Christina, where are you at? This is one of the ones you've seen, so you can weigh in.
I haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, but I can tell you I wasn't that into Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm gonna put it at the very top of B tier. Okay.
That's fair, because I love Guardians. Don't get me wrong. Like I love Guardians of the Galaxy, and I still say it's B.
Can I say my personal beef with Guardians too?
Yeah, you can.
Do it.
So in high school, I tried reading comic books, and then I kept running out of money, and then you
forgot how to read.
Yeah, I can't read. So anyway, the point is, I did try to read comic books in high school, and I want to say like 4 issues into the Guardians of the Galaxy reboot, which was done more or less in correlation with this movie.
Okay.
Although the stories are not this movie, but the original Guardians movie.
Sure.
Of course, the stories are entirely divergent of one another. They have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah.
But I was expecting at least some bits of lore to carry over. And the biggest thing that really hurt me was I was so prepared to see Jason of Spartax. But apparently Spartax just doesn't exist. And then they replaced him with Ego the Living Planet for some fucking reason.
So, there's a lot of characters in the MCU that are amalgam characters of multiple. Yeah. Like, Hela isn't actually Hela. Nando v Movies, actually, if you want to get... I'll put a link in the description when I upload this to YouTube. Nando v Movies actually did a series for a while on that. Like, on Ego's not Ego, Hela's not Hela. Like, these characters are amalgam characters. I think...
Yeah, totally, I get that.
And I think for, like, movie adaptations, that's fine. Because, you know... We're probably not going to get far enough in. Like, spoilers, I'm going to suggest Iron Man 3 for A tier. A lot of people get mad that the Mandarin's completely different from the comics. I think that's fine, because you're not adapting a comic book character from the 70s or 80s directly. You're adapting a story or a character arc.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
But Alex, do you forget that the Mandarin is real?
Okay, so hold up.
Rip Ben Kingsley character.
Adaptations of comic books, of other movies, of shows, of books in general, it's always hard to encompass it, because when in comics and books, you can have so many more characters.
You have a lot more time.
And so, because it's thicker for material. It's thick. So it's way easier to encompass all of this. And when you try to adapt it to a movie, even a show, you end up, like, cutting things out. Like, I know y'all don't watch Game of Thrones, but Game of Thrones, they ended up changing a lot of stuff because, some of the names were similar for characters. Like, they sound similar, but they were written differently, so you had to do that. And they were like, you know what, let's just, like, make these 5 characters into one character, because we don't have enough time or money to have 5 actors. So
wow, HBO didn't have enough money. That's surprising.
I'm as confused as you are.
So with that said, like, I think while we can discuss differences between comics and stuff like that, and how, like, that could have improved the film necessarily, I think we should probably, like, not rule those out into the overall, again, I think it should be based off of execution of the scene within that film.
Yeah, of course, totally. I was just saying that this was my personal beef with the movie. This just affects my perspective of it, because it was just so jarring to expect.
Oh. You cut out.
He got so mad. He punched his internet.
He's
gonna care about the next one too. I don't really want to go to I was gonna go to the next one, but
we could do a different one. So, like, my thing is, like, MCU is, like, lore for the majority of it. It's just, like, it doesn't exist.
It is designed to be it's designed to be modular. Cool. Yeah. Well, Chase is gone real quick. I'm gonna throw Avengers: Age of Ultron into Thor 2 tier.
Yes.
I think
Trash,
he's-
trash.
I think he's the only one who would fight me on that.
Why would he fight you on that? Like, okay, so it had some good scenes in it, like where I chuckled, like anything with oh god, Magneto's son.
Spader.
Jeez, yeah, no,
Oh.
Magneto's son. Fuck,
Oh.
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver.
Any scenes with him, I was like hot, funny. I like,
Okay.
and then he was like big dead, and I was like, okay, well, I don't care about this anymore.
Yeah, it's a shame that he couldn't like move fast enough to get out of the way of those bullets.
I know, it's almost as if he doesn't have a quick ability.
Guys,
Doesn't
we
exist.
lost members too. We just met him today, but we lost him. None of the good members that you care about though. Don't worry, they're safe. Buy their toys.
Right?
We didn't make him an
Right.
outfit because he's not going to be that many toys. But these guys, you can,
Oh,
yeah.
Hawkeye was also really funny in it, but I think it was mostly
Yeah.
because of him, Jeremy Renner, and oh god, Kick-Ass. What the hell? I don't know the actor's name. Who played Quicksilver?
yeah,
Whatever his name is. They
Kick-Ass.
had a really good, Kick-Ass. They had a really good,
Also Godzilla.
like acting off of your favorite. They really good acting off of each other.
I did quite like the that Godzilla movie. Should watch it again sometime.
Yeah, same.
Cool. Is he just?
Where did they go? Did they just?
Hello.
There he
I'm
is.
back.
Christina, are you
what
here?
the fuck happened to my internet?
I'm still here.
Okay. Good. Now you're back. We put Avengers 2 in Thor 2 tier.
It's bad.
Avengers 2. Oh man, I like Age of Ultron.
See, I said you're the
bad.
only one who would fight me.
Like, no, it's not a great movie.
I would
Fair
argue it's a
enough.
bad
I
movie.
like robots. I like robots.
Yeah, we'll get
It's
to we'll
still
get to
bad.
robots though, because I think there's a movie there's a better movie about robots that belongs in A tier.
So listen, Chase. I also like the movie Dog Soldiers. It's a very bad horror movie. I like
Uh huh.
it, but
Yeah.
it's bad.
Here's
Yeah.
uh
I mean, I thought we were giving opinions here.
oh yeah, no, we are
your
giving
opinions are wrong.
opinions. You know what? Here, I'm gonna move it above. I'm gonna do this. This is my concession to you. I'm gonna move it to the top of Thor 2 tier as opposed to the bottom of Thor 2 tier.
I thought you were going to put it to the top of D tier and just play jokes on everyone, and then move it back to Thor 2 tier. But you know what? Fine.
You know what?
Oh, hot take.
I think it's
hot take.
I think we've been a little hard. Just kidding.
We gotta
excellent.
move that hot garbage back before it leaks on everything else.
quick.
Before it starts dripping down the rest of the tier list.
Hey, remember when they
still stain.
remember they were like, okay, we'll keep Ultron around for later in case he's really popular, and then they put him in Vision's gem and they just kill Vision, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Yeah, I guess so.
Why does it matter? Why does you know what? It's a good theme because honestly, Alex, why does anything matter? Nothing matters.
Makes me sad that they killed Vision and then brought in Captain Marvel to do absolutely nothing.
Oh man, we're gonna get to Captain
She-
Marvel. She's there.
She
Yeah.
just, she flew around.
Yeah, she sure did. She sure was a fucking.
Hey, Peter Parker.
Deus Machina.
Hey, Peter
She
Parker.
cut her hair.
She sure did.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did that. She had that line.
Brie Larson's butt doesn't even look nearly as good as
Excuse
Tom
me.
Holland's, though.
Yo, Tom Holland, your butt looks good.
Speaking of Tom
Straight up.
Holland,
They really do though.
we're at
I think I'm older than Tom Holland.
Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Spider-Man. That's not Far From Home. That's Homecoming.
Oh.
Homecoming. Okay, real
Not
quick.
gonna lie. Wait, I haven't seen Far From Home yet. Still
Actually, no. It's like A
slacking.
or B. It's B. It's
You're yeah, B is actually fair. I was thinking of Far From Home. Yeah, Homecoming.
this
I think is
Homecoming?
B. Yeah.
I would definitely put it.
it's an Iron Man movie.
Yeah. I think that's my.
It may be an Iron Man movie, but it's got Spider-Man front and center the whole time, and Tom
So
Holland's
like,
performance is
listen, you guys.
Listening.
I really like the character of Iron Man.
I
do.
Yeah,
You guys-
that tracks.
That's totally on brand. Yeah.
It's very on brand for me. So like,
Yeah.
I like Homecoming
Uh,
a lot.
I like Homecoming too. I'm gonna say, how do you guys feel about where I've placed it right here? Above Doctor Strange, I think. Like as much as Doctor
Yeah.
Strange is the B tier, is the
Personally, I
B
would
tier.
put it above Guardians, but like, you can leave it there. That's okay.
I can't-
Yeah, I would also put it above Guardians, but that's fine too.
okay,
I'll
Not
take
everything
either.
can be number 1 and B tier.
Yeah.
uh,
Just put it on top.
oh,
Layer it.
oh, it slipped. It slipped. It wouldn't let me. I'm gonna try one more time. Oh, it just wouldn't let me. Okay, well, that's just gonna sit there. Speaking of B tier movies, what about Ant-Man going in top of C tier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ant-Man's fine, but it's only fine.
Paul, it's such a waste of Paul Rudd.
I will agree. I love Paul Rudd.
And Evangeline
Man.
Lilly. How do you feel about this one?
Paul Rudd is such a joyful human.
Christina, this is one you've seen.
Amazing.
How do you feel about it?
I like, but I'm okay.
How are we defining C again?
C
is
is watchable, but not
Watchable,
like
but not rewatchable.
not like you wouldn't go out of your way. Like, okay, put another way. Somebody's sitting down. You come into the living room. Your roommate, friend, sibling.
Oh, it's like halfway on or halfway through the movie. You're not gonna make them rewind.
Or
You're
even-
just gonna watch the end.
Yeah, or even like if they started it, you'd be like, yeah, I'll watch that. But like, it's not like what do you? But like, when somebody's like, what movie you want to watch today? You're not gonna be like, oh, yeah, Ant-Man.
No, I wouldn't. Honestly,
Okay.
yeah. No, that is accurate. I mean, I would say I would rewatch. Like, I would just like go on YouTube and search good scenes from it and then just watch.
Oh, that's like where that's like D tier. Like D tier is like I'm gonna watch this, but I got my phone out. Oh yeah, I got some fish to grind out in Animal Crossing. I'll watch.
So
Let me watch it.
when you started the
Watching
whole
anime.
bit as like you're watching the movie and your roommate walks in, I thought you were gonna say it's not the kind of movie that you'll turn off immediately because you'll be you'd be embarrassed that they find you watching a movie like Ant-Man.
No, I don't think any of the Marvel
No.
movies are particularly embarrassing, except for that one scene in Age of Ultron where Black Widow's like, "I know you turn into a rage monster that kills people, Hulk, but I can't have babies. Now who's the real
I'm a
monster?"
too.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
pretty
god.
bad. Also, the entirety of Thor: The Dark World.
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
In that movie, they say that women are only meant for making babies.
It's reasonless
No.
and trash in Thor 2.
So it's
Not
it's,
Thor 2.
It's a,
Avengers 2. Yeah, kind of.
Avengers 2. It's a little bit more than that.
They say
So,
that Black
yeah.
Widow thinks that, and that Hulk's
Yeah.
fine with it, but it's considered like she considers it an equivalent to his Hulk monstering. So
I can't
Right.
believe
So-
Black
it's
Widow was
really
rumored.
disgusting.
Yeah, it is really bad. She literally equates. I mean, it's awful what happened to her, but it's not like
Yeah, it's like
it's not.
the scene feels like at one point she had to kill a kid, but that's not like it felt.
Right, that would have been better.
It felt like at one point it was like that Kingsman thing where they tell them to shoot their dog.
You know what? Remember in Bruges, it would have been better if it had been.
I think,
him. His
real
whole
quick-
thing of like having to like.
I mean, if In Bruges was in here, In Bruges would be like its own tier, it'd be S plus, right? So like,
Yeah, you're right. But I'm just saying, like that moment where he, you know, that he's struggling with that, with having killed a kid, like like that.
yeah.
Would have been a better "I'm a monster" than hey.
I think my
Nobody
main
even-
issue, yeah, I think my main issue with like these movies in general is they're afraid to have their characters be that complex.
Yeah, because they have to get the general audience into wanting to watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they started to delve into that with Iron Man,
but
but then they were like, boat jump.
hey,
Actually,
speaking
he's,
of,
he's not a bad dude. Actually, no, he is.
do we want to save Infinity War and Endgame for the end?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
Let's-
That's the
Can I
final,
put
the finale part.
I'm gonna put them over here. Then I'm gonna skip those. I'm gonna put those right over here. Black
I will.
Black
Oh,
Pants.
Black
I love-
Pants.
I love it.
I am gonna say bottom of A tier.
Bottom of A tier. I'm okay with that. I dragged it up to A tier. Christina,
Yeah.
you haven't seen it. So yeah.
No, I will agree. I don't think it's S tier. I think that
Yeah.
a lot of the hype revolves around.
Bottom of A tier puts it below Ragnarok, and they're so close. I don't know that I agree with that.
I would put it at top. Chase is the one who said bottom of A tier. I just think it belongs in A tier.
I did say bottom purely because I enjoy Ragnarok more. Just because Ragnarok is more of my kind of movie, where it's both action and like real dumb. When
No,
Black
that makes
Panther was
sense.
more just kind of action
I think you're forgetting every scene with Claw.
And like
with Claw.
his sister,
Yeah.
everything seen with his sister.
No, versus the sister. Okay, so here's the reason I'm putting Black Panther above Ragnarok is
Blind Panther.
Black Pants.
Black Pants.
The reason I'm putting it above Ragnarok is
We all know it's because that He's a cat.
Michael B. Jordan's a way. Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
Michael B. Jordan is a way more interesting and compelling villain than Hela, and that's a shame because, like,
Oh yeah, totally.
wait.
I get that.
You're
That has to
saying
be hard
someone
for
is
you to
better
say.
than Kate Blanchett?
no, I'm
That's-
saying Killmonger's a
Oh.
better. I'm saying Killmonger is a
The
better
character.
is a better written villain. I'm listen. If
I
Kate Blanchett was playing Eric Killmonger, listen. Michael B. Jordan did an amazing job. Nobody would outact Kate Blanchett in the same role. Kate Blanchett was given a Thor villain, and it's an A tier. Michael
Yeah, it's true.
Michael B. Jordan was given Vegeta, and it's still an A tier. And Vegeta's like the most compelling villain archetype of all time. So yeah,
Yes, we know because they're my favorite.
yes. You've never even seen
Yes,
Dragon
we
Ball
know,
Z,
Dave.
but you love Vegeta.
I have seen Dragon Ball Z.
I like to pretend you haven't.
I have seen it.
She's seen the abridged series. That's all she needs to know.
Oh yes,
No!
good enough.
I watched all of Dragon Ball Z and I regret the majority of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me as well. I know too much about Dragon Ball, and I don't like it.
Dragon Ball Z is like one of those things where like the design is way more interesting than the actual storylines, but
But
Oh
that,
no,
and
yeah, the
that's- and
storylines are
that's-
goofy as fuck and so
So
bad.
like the creator said that. That's what he would
Yeah.
he like, not to get off topic, but like to get off topic, he would
yeah.
literally make everything up as he went along. That's his writing style, which makes sense. That's fine. You do you, boo. But it just didn't. It's like too
Like-
simplistic for me.
Like
Yeah,
I think
that's a lot of fun to do, but it's definitely like how fan fictions are written.
I think it's like he's not interested in that. He's like interested in like technology and world design, which is like I think it was Dragon Quest where he had to design like the airship, and he just made like an entire like they just wanted an airship, and he made like the power system and all that, and then like built that into the visual design of the ships for the series. But he doesn't know how to write romance. So yeah, okay. Anyhow, oh, sorry.
Yeah, no.
Uh,
All right. So where would we put Dragon Ball Z?
Dragon Ball Z is definitely D tier.
Yes.
I was gonna
Thank you.
Yeah,
depends.
D for Dragon Ball.
You'd have to split it up into arcs. I think the Saiyan Saga is like B, but anyhow.
D for
Yeah,
Ligma.
fine. Yeah, I get that.
Civil War.
Steve Jobs.
A.
Hey, yeah, I'd say with that. What about you
Civil
guys?
War?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I
been a
love
long
Civil
time
War.
since I've seen Civil War.
Yeah, it's
It
been
has
like
War
200
is
years.
good. It's
wor-
not. It's like it's really good.
I'm gonna put it right there.
Sure, y'all can
Yeah.
put it in
It
there.
has two of the best booty in the MCU universe: Spider-Man
have-
and Captain America.
It
It
also
does have
you
America's
know what?
ass.
Tom Holland was in there. Tom Holland was in it.
Yep. It also
Yes.
has Black Pants himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Uh,
You know what? I'll accept
I would put
A
it
tier
above Black
solely
Panther.
on
Not
Tom
gonna lie,
Holland's
but you
movie.
can keep it there.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. For the final fight alone, I'm fine with that.
Also, Giant Man. Giant Man was great.
Yeah, this is where Paul Rudd actually gets to act.
Yeah, he was really good.
Paul Rudd, you know,
Oh,
the
honestly-
actor.
Paul Rudd,
Oh.
you don't have to be stoic hero man. You can be goofy sidekick character. I think that's so. Really quick, you'll notice that like a lot of the ones up here have like an anthology of characters, and then there's also Spider-Man. And I think that's because like the reason those get so high up is because you don't just have to be stoic hero man who's kind of a jerk but has a heart of gold, aka Tony Stark or Doctor Strange, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like there
Yeah.
or Thor.
You,
Oh, someone died.
oh, who died? Who
Uh,
died?
Probably Chase.
Nobody
Ah.
died?
Nobody died. Okay.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, it just like froze. It was weird.
So I
Um,
think like that's the way forward. I hope they realize that. They probably do.
Spider-Man: The Way Forward.
Honestly, yeah. I think you should
Shantae
be.
by Way Forward Games.
Hmm.
And like, okay, so listen, like you know the types of characters that I like.
Yeah.
You know, but like,
Yeah, Angry Bad
you
Boys.
can still be what?
What?
What did he say?
He said
Angry
Vegeta.
Bad Boys.
Yeah.
I said Vegeta, Bakugo, Captain
Yeah.
Mustang. Captain?
Why do you just keep saying
No,
Vegeta
it-
over and over and over again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the same image. It's the
Yeah,
same
Vegeta.
picture. So, but
The planet
I
Vegeta.
also love and you know that I don't care about comedy that much, but I still love the goofy. Like, you can be a really good hero
Uh-huh.
and have a good movie with a really strong, like, storyline and still be goofy AF.
Hey, speaking of goofy
Yeah.
Hey,
AF,
Thor Ragnarok.
let's talk about Captain America: The First Avenger.
First Avenger.
Oh,
I want
God.
to put that.
A.
Okay, top
No,
of
I
C
would
or
not
bottom
put
of
it
B for me.
Yeah, and
Okay,
it's not.
B.
It's definitely not A.
I can accept B. Here's the reason I'm not going to put it at C. Uh, the entire like before he
It is
goes
Tommy
to
Lee Jones.
that, and the entire before he goes to fight the double secret not Nazis.
Yeah, the not Nazis.
I think
Yeah, before it
if
gets
they
to all
were
the Marvel stuff, it's a fun movie.
yeah, I think if they were just like straight up Nazis, it would have been better. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like if you just straight
Yeah,
up.
you know what?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
totally.
I'm not gonna. Okay, say why won't you put it in C? Because I would put it in C.
The first half of the movie is really good.
It's still not. It's still very boring.
I like it.
It's an interesting
like
character
it.
study.
Hold on, because Winter Soldier is next.
Yeah.
I like
Winter
the
Soldier,
first
I'd put
Captain.
that.
I like the first Captain America better than Winter Soldier because Winter Soldier was half the movie was just fights and it was,
I think the thing though
Winter
is
Soldier's better.
I didn't understand what she was saying.
she
Yeah, it
said
cut out a little bit.
Winter
Is
Soldier
it-
is all fight scenes, so she doesn't like it.
Winter
It lasted
Soldier is
10,000
more than
years.
just fight scenes. The Winter Soldier is like the dichotomy of heroes and losing your friend and having them turned against you. Like the Winter Soldier's storyline is so much deeper and way better than
Here's the
And
whole
first-
reason I like Winter Soldier. Again, I wish they just straight up called Hydra Nazis more often. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. actually does this. There's a point where one of the characters confronts somebody who they thought were a friend but turned out to be a Nazi, and they're like, "You're a Nazi!" He's like, "No, we're Hydra." He's like, "Yeah, Hydra is Nazis!"
Nazi.
Like they just straight up call it
Punch
out.
Nazis already. Do
Uh,
that in 2020.
she did
Punch 'em in
punch.
the
She did
face.
punch that character. She did punch.
Good.
Punch Nazis 2020. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck Nazis.
Correct. I like Winter Soldier because it had the bravery to be like the CIA is Nazis, but I don't like that everybody just knew who was on whose side. Like it's just like all the little yellow dots turn red for the other side on your mini map, I guess. I'm gonna say right here. How's that feel to you guys?
Still moving. Middle
Yeah.
B tier.
Yeah.
Better than
It's
Strange.
just- It's better than the first Captain America, I will say. I agree with that. And it's definitely more memorable for me than Doctor Strange. I like Doctor Strange, but it's
Like there's a couple. I think
Interesting.
I think
feel
there's
the
a couple.
exact opposite.
Interesting.
I like Doctor Strange more. Like the
I
first,
also like Doctor Strange more.
the second Captain. I just remember being like, oh my god, like when is this fight over? I feel like he's fought Bucky like for half this movie. Like
that's the point.
Yeah, that's kind of the.
They were
Yeah.
They were enemies, and it hurt,
Yeah,
and
sure,
I
there may be-
cried.
I know.
There
but,
may
like,
be
it was just, like,
story-based emotional backing to the fighting, but like to someone who's just jumping into the movie, it's going to be hard to understand that they're not just fighting.
No, they go to the
It's
Captain
like-
America 1 museum.
oh yeah, like oh man, they're punching each other. Hey,
But it's his
Okay, so
friend.
you guys don't like the emotional fighting. Got it.
There's
I don't
no
like
But
fighting.
okay.
there's no force on this world that lets me move Doctor Strange above Captain America, but I will, as a concession, do this.
I'll take it. I'll take that.
I'm
that's
clapping.
fine. Now
Yes.
move Doctor Strange before
No,
Captain.
No,
No.
there's no
I
force
love-
on this earth.
it's not gonna
There's
be.
two. It's 202 though. We need a tiebreaker. Oh, if I
H2O2.
did it.
All right,
Uh,
Wolfgang, tiebreaker. Wolfgang. He says to keep it where it is.
comment below if you think Captain America should be below Doctor Strange. But if you do, no.
Oh, Wolfgang also
Look,
says.
Bumblebee Cabbage Patch. Okay.
Wolfgang also says feed me.
Bumblebee Cabbage
All right, so
Patch.
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, top of C. Oh, that's Guardians.
I fell asleep.
Um,
I fell asleep when watching
Yeah,
this
top
on the
of C.
flight.
Whoa, that's the
it's
wrong
hard-
movie, bro.
You also
It's
were
hard to
very
say
asleep.
that any movie is worse than Thor and Ant-Man.
In C tier, yeah. Here's the thing, like I
Yeah.
think Captain Marvel's another one that like a couple rewrites would have brought it up a tier. Like it's so
Yeah.
close.
Oh yeah, totally, absolutely.
It's
You're
so
not wrong.
close.
At all. And like it makes me really sad because I love Jude Law. Like
Oh god,
Jude
that
Law?
scene was great. He
Yeah.
no.
if
Jude
you're
Law.
watching this, I just want you to know how much I love you. Jude Law. But
Jude Law in your
Jude Law.
rubber
Why?
ab suit.
Jude Law, if you're watching this, I have a question for you. Did you actually go to law school, or is that just your name?
I hate you, Chase. But like
I hate you.
love you. I don't remember what I was saying because I just like
You
got
s-
stuck on Jude Law.
Hey, that's a part of the movie. I think my main problem with Captain Marvel is that it's supposed to be about her not letting anybody drag her down, but then also if you look at all of the supporting characters, like they don't let Mariah, I
anything?
don't remember, do anything. Yeah, it's
I think
all
it's
Sam.
Maria.
It's like, what if Sam Jackson and Clark Gregg and Jude Law were actually the supporting cast? And that feels like all the female characters that aren't named Captain America don't really get to do anything. And
I don't know
or
what you mean. It's because they don't matter. Obviously, they don't exist.
Like,
I don't know what
even-
you mean.
To be
Even
honest,
they
I forgot
changed-
Sam Jackson was even in the movie. But
Really?
like that's fine. We got to see the origins of Nick Fury.
it's like a buddy cop stuff. Like I love all the Sam Jackson stuff, but like
Yeah.
I think it would have been stronger towards their themes if that was her friend Maria, or like if
So, or just make the other
Marvel-
scenes with her stronger.
Or
Like,
if
not
Marvel
just, like,
wasn't
discount
dead.
her.
wasn't dead the entire movie. So yeah,
Just something. Because and then they had, and the whole like theme of like her breaking free and then like picking the Air Force colors. It's like, bro, the Air Force colors time.
No, I like it. Like I can't wear these colors that represents.
That oppress me, bruh. Remember when the Air Force oppressed you for being female? Oh my god, because I do.
Can't. All right. So yeah, I think like it could have been stronger. I don't think it's like there are people who put Captain Marvel in D or F tier. Those people are wrong. I don't think it's that.
Yeah.
I think
No,
Captain
I
Marvel.
think C is fine.
Yeah,
I would have a stronger opinion if I saw the movie any more than once.
that's
Yo,
understandable.
but that's the point is see that you really don't see it more than once. So like, but also like,
exactly.
Yeah, you
but
don't
also,
want to put it
like-
on.
I saw it while I was in theater, and that was it.
yeah, but like also it has a cat, so top of C is okay.
It's not a cat. Spoiler alert.
It's Ricky.
Don't like spoil everybody.
Ricky's in the
I can't
movie.
believe that's how, I can't believe Nick Fury got his eye patch because he got scratched by a cat.
The really good part about that is in Winter Soldier, where he's like, last time I trusted somebody, I lost an eye.
Last time what?
I trusted someone, I lost an eye.
Yeah. He trusted him. He trusted him.
He was betrayed.
Oh, all right. Guardians of the Galaxy. Bing.
Bottom B tier.
What the heck?
I would.
No, these are standalone movies. They're good.
Yeah, Guardians.
Oh wait, shit. We're talking about Guardians. My dumbass. For some reason, I got Guardians 2 back stuck in my head again. Fuck me. No, yeah, Guardians is excellent.
All right.
I didn't like it, but I have bad memories associated with
Yeah, I would say I feel like some of that.
Understandable. I also
Yeah.
have bad memories associated to it, but it's still a good movie.
I want to say that's one of the few ones that's gonna go in S. There's one other I'm gonna recommend here that I will probably get pushed back on, but we'll see.
Thankfully, I don't have.
Is it Far From Home?
It is.
Or is it
no,
Iron Man 3?
It's Iron Man 3. Spoiler alert. I think
still,
Iron Man 3
okay,
is really
so like
good.
I have not seen Iron Man 3 and I have not seen Far From Home yet.
Okay.
I'm slacking. And Iron Man, I love Iron Man, but I'm dumb.
Iron Man 3 is the good one. I'm gonna say that. It's one where they actually let him be a character instead of just being Hero Man. It's the same reason I like Civil War.
I have some opinions on Iron Man 3, but we'll get there.
We'll get
Which
there.
is fine.
But first, Iron Man 2.
Bad.
Top of Thor 2
Bad.
tier.
Bad.
Top of Thor 2 tier.
Top of Thor 2 tier.
Top of it, yeah.
Iron Man 3.
Bad fire.
Right up here. Right up here. It's the best one of these movies. So we're at the actually no, let's put this I'm gonna push this back. I'm gonna push this back to right before Endgame. I'm gonna push this back. I think Iron Man 2 we're gonna have more opinions on than the Avengers ones. I'm gonna push Iron Man 3 back to the very end of the queue here, actually.
Oh, sure, alright.
Okay.
Here we go, guys. First Iron Man movie. It's just slightly better than Ant-Man.
I would, yeah, agree.
Yeah.
I was thinking top of C tier, but then I realized Captain Marvel was sitting there. Captain Marvel's probably a better movie overall.
Yeah, like
But Iron Man was still a lot of fun. I really liked it when it first came out, but I was also a wee child because that was 2008. I was
Yeah.
like, what, 10?
same. Like it's got Jeff Bridges and Robert Downey Jr.
You were not 10 in 2008.
Uh,
That's
You
a
were
lie.
not.
no, I was 18.
Hot lie.
I was 18.
How old was I? 14? Are you 4 years older than me?
I was born in 1990, guys. So my age is very easy to determine.
Oh, okay.
You
3 years
just
older than
yeah.
3 years older than me. So
You just add 10 to the
I
last two digits, if anything. It's fine.
like I think Iron Man is an okay movie. Like even like if you take away the whole like Marvel thing, I don't think it's an amazing standalone movie.
No.
I'm not saying to put it in S. I'm saying like it's an okay movie by itself.
You're not
if you
making
take
the
away-
argument for A tier, are you? Okay.
No. I'm fine
Okay.
where it is.
Yeah.
I just think that like I feel like C is okay. It's graduating or passing, right? It's passing.
Yeah, it's a 70%. That's passing. Yeah, I don't think Iron Man's that great. Like, a lot of people love this one. I don't think it's that great. I think you've got great performances by Jeff and, fucking, what's
Rob?
Tony Stark's real name?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, that guy.
Did I say
Yeah, sorry.
Junior?
It's RDJ.
Robert Downey Jr.
You have
Just call him RDJ like everyone
you
else.
have Terrence Howard before he gets banished to the Shadow Realm.
Yes.
He's not
That
doing a
was
great
some-
performance, but he's there.
That was some deep shit that happened. Continue. But to be fair, I like Don Cheadle, so it's okay.
I like Don
Yeah,
Cheadle
Don
too.
Cheadle's great.
He's not playing the same character. He doesn't look or act like the
No.
same character, but it's just really funny to me that like they banished Terrence Howard Jr. to this, or Terrence Howard Jr. Jesus.
Terrence Howard Jr.
Let's talk
Maybe
about
he should have played a better hand.
let's talk about Avengers.
No, let's keep talking about Iron Man because Jeff Bridges is fucking great. And
Jeff is
and
the
what
scene
was
where he doesn't give him the pizza. That's great. That stuff is why it goes over Ant-Man for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ironmonger is fine
Until he's not.
the
Until he's a
fight
big dumb
scene-
gray villain.
Yeah, but the fight
Yeah.
scene was a lot of fun because it's oh hey, we get to see the completed Iron Man suit doing its thing, and then you get to see Ironmonger just being like, "Oh, I'm a hulkier Iron Man, and I'm bad. And don't know what the hell I'm."
Yeah, he's big dumb gray Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
I think it's really fun.
I would agree, but like, okay, real quick, just from the ones we've done here, Thor: The Dark World, we fight big dumb gray Christopher Eccleston. Avengers: Age of Ultron, we fight big dumb gray James Spader. Iron Man 2, we fight big dumb gray Mickey Rourke.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, you see like where I'm going with this. Like each one of these villains
Big
is
Dumb Gray doesn't mean bad.
but it means like boring because instead of like being interesting or nuanced, like okay, so looking at the ones that are higher up here, or that I recommend putting higher up here. So like we'll go to Thor Ragnarok. They aren't just fighting big dumb gray Kate Blanchett. Like she's a relatively Marvel villain. She's probably the most Marvel villain out of all of the ones here, right? Of these four so far. But like she wins, right? They're not gonna be just like out punch her, right? Because like that I think is the mark of it between a B and an A is well, not even between a B and an A, really between a B and a C, I think, is does the villain get out punched? Because if
Wait. Question: How
Yeah.
are you defining a gray? Like, are you saying morally gray character or like,
no, they're very much not morally gray, right? So like in Iron
Right,
Man,
that's why
Jeff
I was
Bridges is
confused.
like,
Just-
I'm going to steal your suit. No, they're just literally gray because gray isn't an interesting color, and we know they're the bad guy because
That's
they're
why
big
you're
and
saying
gray.
it. Okay, that's all. I just wanted a
Yeah.
clarification because, like, when you say gray, my brain is like morally gray. I'm very confused.
No, Jeff Bridges
Yeah,
isn't morally
it's not
gray. He's
Morally,
just-
it is just how interesting they are. It's
Tony.
definitely not.
Tony,
No, yeah,
I'm going to sell weapons that kill children, Tony, and I'm going to build a bigger version of your suit with more weapons to make sure
Yeah.
that I can kill you so I can make more weapons, Tony.
Out, punch, man.
Yeah,
No.
and like
Bridges is just real salty that that Howard didn't put him in charge.
Tony's
must
like
love
To his
him.
like, fucking 13-year-old son or whatever.
You must love him then, because he's salty.
What?
like you.
You love salty.
But like yeah, so like
Oh yeah, I do like salt.
Thor-
I eat a lot of fucking salt.
Thor Ragnarok is like the sins of the past and like sort of like them trying to wash it. And they're like, actually, maybe we should just let this empire die rather than trying to keep washing over our dark past. Black Panther is hey, maybe we shouldn't just kind of like we should just kind of bow down to assimilation and colonization. And that's sort of like the character is kind of right and causes a change in the hero. Civil War.
Right, and also, like, hey, look, this person that you look up to, is it also perfect?
Yeah, that's
Did a
both of these.
terrible, shitty thing.
That's both of these movies here, right? That's both.
Yeah. That's why I love them so much.
So like, I think like you're just getting a lot more moral and complexity, and also generally the villain designs are more interesting visually as well. Once you get there, and like even though Michael Keaton's big and gray, he actually has like a point. He's a family man. He doesn't sell Peter out. He's one of the few Marvel villains that actually gets to live. So like I think
he actually does a good thing at the end.
Not only does he live, he feels like compelling. He's doing character-based things at the end, not just I'm villain. I'm gonna do another bad thing, even though I was beaten.
I've said many times that the car scene in Spider-Man: Homecoming is the best scene in all of these Marvel movies.
Oh yeah, it's super good.
Wait, which car scene?
The scene where
The
where they're riding to
Taking
prom.
him to homecoming.
Yeah. Oh, to Homecoming.
Oh, not prom, Homecoming.
Yeah, right. The title of the movie.
Okay.
It's
That's
called
what
Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Spider-Man prom.
I
They
thought
said the name. They did it.
they did it in the movie.
Name drop, everybody.
Prom. Okay, yeah, I just didn't know if you meant where you were talking about. That's what I thought you were talking about, but like I don't like assuming.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you meant like a fighting car scene, I was like, well. His villain is very good because it's not 100% villain, but I like morally compromised characters or like bad guys that do things for like not just because I'm bad.
Right. I just want
exactly what Hawk is.
I just want to sell.
Hawk? What's his name? Isn't it Hawk?
Vulture.
Vulture.
Damn it! Wrong bird of prey.
Yeah, I mean he also wants to sell weapons like Jeff Bridges, but he wants to sell weapons because he got shut down from his legitimate business. There's a little bit more nuance. It's that one step more that brings him one tier above.
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges was just, I was best friends with a guy who made a weapons company, and now I want to make all of the money. I can't believe Jeff Bridges was just Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Wow, fuck you.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Let's put this S here.
What do you mean, fuck me?
Not Jeff Bezos. Fuck you, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, fuck you, Jeff Bezos.
So, Avengers. Just gonna stick that there. I don't think we need to...
Stick it where? Can't see it.
Bottom of D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Avengers is okay.
it was a spectacle the first time, and everybody remembers that spectacle, and they're like, oh, but this let all the other ones cross over. And, like, sure, but...
like, if you watch the movie again, it doesn't hold up nearly as the rest.
Yeah, it's so boring. It's so hard to rewatch. It only worked because you had the hype going in.
The only thing I love from that movie, and you can guess. Tell me what's the only thing I love from that movie.
It's the Iron Man scenes.
No, it's Loki. It's Loki.
Yeah, Loki.
I only care about Loki.
Hey, real quick, Loki's not a big dumb gray villain, so I'll give him that.
Yeah.
He has a big dumb gray army.
He does.
that are all drones. That conveniently all the drones die when you kill the one thing, so it's nice and clean and easy.
Weren't good.
Yeah, Chitauri were very bad.
They could have been cool.
They could have.
I mean, their ships were cool, but that was it.
Agents of Shield does some interesting
Loki,
stuff.
I miss you.
Our Agents of Shield does some interesting stuff of being like, yeah, there was just a bunch of like alien weapons left around, so that's a problem. But
Darian, I'm sure you were talking about your cat, right?
What?
What?
Were you talking about your cat?
No, I was talking about actual Loki, but R.I.P. to my cat Loki too as well.
Yeah,
thanks for bringing that up.
Right. Oh wait, no, yeah. I guess prime timeline Loki is dead, but we have different Loki for the series.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, man.
Edward Norton Hulk. I'm actually put that right here in C tier, right above Iron Man for me.
Wait, there's two Hulks?
There's
3.
There's one Hulk movie.
There's like there's more Hulk movies, but there's
there's a ton of Hulk movies, but there's one in the MCU.
Yeah, and that's the Edward Norton one.
Yeah. It's so bad though.
It's
like I feel like it's just a bad movie.
I mean, okay.
I've only seen it in bits and pieces. I've never been able to see it all the way through.
I feel like it should be above Ant-Man, below Iron Man, just because Iron Man can be a good movie.
Yeah,
but
same.
Hulk is not a good movie.
The reason I put Hulk above is it actually has.
It's a little bit below Ant-Man, but that's just me. I don't really have anything to back that up with.
I'll slide it down there because I don't feel strongly enough about it. Like, my thing with Hulk is, like, it's interesting and it has some cool stuff. Oh, you know what? Ant-Man doesn't have a big gray villain where he fights Big Gray Eli Roth, rather. Not Tim Roth. No,
He
Tim
fights
Roth.
a big,
Tim Roth.
big-
I was right the first time. Tim Roth, not Eli Roth. Eli Roth's the douchebag director. Tim Roth's the actor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
No, the Hulk movie is just bad.
I think there are interesting parts in it. I really like how much of it is just Tim Roth psyching himself up to fight the Hulk just to get immediately kicked through a tree. Like, that's really good.
Yeah, but I don't think it makes a good movie. Like it's.
I think it makes an interesting
funny.
movie. Like, it is an interesting movie. I think the problem is when he finally gets to be a Hulk monster, it's no longer interesting. Like, I think it's good up until he gets to be a Hulk monster and they try to set up for sequels and they have the big dumb gray fight. Like,
Honestly, I don't even think some of the character development and character relationships were good. Like, I don't think they were executed properly in the movie. It was boring. I didn't care for it, and it's very forgettable.
I will watch every scene with Tim Roth in it from that movie. I don't know what to tell you. It's very
Yeah.
good.
Okay. So that's D tier if you're just gonna Google scenes.
I mean, there's other stuff. There's there's the Lou Ferrigno scene. There's I think it's pretty good.
Just Google those scenes, boy.
But that's most of the movie.
Just watch the Daft Punk remix of
You better move that back. You better move that down to D. You better move that down to D tier.
I'm putting it at the bottom of C, and you can't stop me.
You're right. We can't stop you because you're the one controlling the tier list.
Yeah, it's true.
Just know that everyone else wants it in D.
Fine. You monsters.
You can put it at the top of D.
I did put it at the top of D for what it's worth.
I think Alex would put Tim Roth on the top of his D.
My
Sorry.
attraction to Tim Roth is not sexual.
Hold on, I have to look up. I don't remember what.
But
Tim
it
Roth
could be.
Okay.
He's-
Tim Roth, what do you look like?
He's Mr. Orange from Pulp Fiction.
Oh, he can get it, I guess.
Question mark. He's not.
Get it? I guess.
He's not a conventionally attractive guy. It's fine.
I think it's more
he's
the
very funny.
personalities of the characters that he would
Yeah.
put through.
Yeah, he just does a
yeah.
very good job at certain types of characters, and I really liked what he did with Blonsky up until he became a big gray villain.
You know that I like personality. Clearly, I mean, I like Dobby, and he's not. Half of his body is scarred.
Okay, because you like Spider-Man, or because you haven't seen Spider-Man Far From Home, and you need to, because it has, I think, in my opinion, one of, if not the greatest villains in the MCU.
Is it Jake?
I won't spoil who the villain. I won't spoil who the villain is in
Gyllenhaal?
this. I won't spoil.
Hey,
who the
Jake
villain is in
Gyllenhaal,
this.
how do you pronounce your last name?
Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
Oh, Jake Gyllenhaal,
Hey,
please tell
Darian,
me.
he's a good actor.
I think what we're trying to get at is if you want to see it, which we recommend, you should probably deafen yourself, and then we'll tell you when we're done talking about it.
Oh, that seems like a good idea. Yeah, Darian.
Okay, here, I'm just gonna go into the Discord, so just message.
Yeah, that's what we'll
Yeah,
do.
this would. Oh, you undeafened. You're there. You're deafened now. Okay, she's deafened. I'm not gonna watch this anymore. So if she spoils herself, it's on her. So I knew what Mysterio's whole deal was, but Christina did not know Mysterio was a villain going in. So that was really great. Great reveal. I really liked everything about him.
Darian just said ligma balls in the chat.
Thank you, Darian. I'm thinking bottom of A tier here, to be honest.
Wholeheartedly agree, except I would bump it up to top of A tier because Night Monkey.
Oh my god.
I can put it.
I love Far From Home.
I think it's really good.
I
can
also
put it.
love Far From Home.
Christina, do you prefer Far From Home to Ragnarok?
Do I own Far
It's
From Home?
Spider-Man. Are you for real?
Outside of Spider-Man, imagine it was not about Spider-Man. Far From Home better than Ragnarok?
Yeah.
Okay,
Spider-Man.
I'm down with that. I'm very okay with that.
I'm also going to be okay with that.
I think that's
I
fine.
have no reason to disagree.
I think it's even better. I don't know if it's better than.
Better than,
I really like Civil War.
yeah,
I don't know,
Civil War is
man. They
really
weren't
good.
practicing social distancing.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty comfortable with where it is now. I just really quickly want to say I really loved Jake Gyllenhaal's performance, and I think he's one of the most interesting villains in the MCU. Only
Yeah,
behind.
he's got real important backstory that actually like builds up. Like his whole crew feeds into that very well.
They got Box with the Scraps guy back.
Yeah, they did. Tony Stark did this in a cave with a box of scraps.
I'm not Tony
I
Stark.
can't believe they actually put that scene in the movie. Jeff Bridges was in this movie.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, thinking about it though, I am gonna bump. No, I'm gonna leave Guardians where it is. Because I was thinking, because Ronan's kind of a big gray villain, but oh well.
Ronan is definitely a big gray villain, yeah.
It's a shame. It's a shame that he's the villain of that movie.
Why isn't Civil War?
S tier? I don't know. Are we done talking about Far From Home? I'm going to tell Darian to get back on
Yes.
the call.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, there's not really much to say about it besides it's hella good, and for like every reason.
Night.
Night Monkey, especially.
Okay.
Hey.
What Christina
Hey,
Christina
we're
just
back.
suggested putting Civil War in S tier, and I'm trying to think of, because like I'm trying to think like if I didn't have the context, it's just a bunch of super soldiers in an intrigue plot. I might actually be okay with putting it at the bottom of S tier.
Yeah.
Mm,
No.
I don't know.
Oh,
I
at the
think it's
bottom of
fine
S tier.
where
I
it
thought you
is.
said bottom of A tier.
No, I'm okay with it being bottom of S tier as well.
Do you,
Because if you
Chaser
take
Vaughn?
away like their, like who they are, take away Marvel,
Yeah.
it's still very interesting.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
the plot
sure.
points still hold and hit home.
That
Sure,
fight
that's
scene.
all fine, but I don't know. I feel like it loses a bit of its magic without
All right, I'll leave it. I'll leave it
without
at
the
top.
Marvel background.
All right, I'll leave it at top of A for now.
I'm still okay with it being top of A.
Yeah, same.
That fight scene is the only fight.
You're
You're
not
cutting
talking
out.
about the you're talking about the airport fight scene, not the end one that's like super brutal and where they do team combos on Iron Man's face, right?
No, I'm talking about where Ant-Man gets big.
At the airport, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the airport.
That's because you haven't seen Far From Home. Far From Home has some excellent fight scenes.
No, Darian
have
hasn't
seen
seen.
Far From Home.
Christina's seen Fire for Home.
I
Oh,
haven't
she
seen
has?
it. It's me.
Oh,
Oh.
well, watch it then.
That's
I
why we
don't
just
know
had
how I haven't bought
we
it.
just had Darian mute.
You literally had me mute myself. What did you do?
I might.
Hey,
minute
I'm just a
ago.
stupid idiot, okay? I'm
I-
just a big dummy. We know this.
I don't remember if I rented it or bought it when we watched all the
We
Spider.
rented it.
We rented it. Okay, I said because we watched all the Spider-Man movies. We should do a Spider-Man tier list at some point.
Yes.
All right.
Well, maybe after I watch it.
Yeah. And well, we've got to watch
That
the.
means I'll have to binge the Raimi movies
Oh,
again.
Oh darn! Spoilers. Raimi
Hey, wait,
movies.
are we-
Whatever will I do?
Are we including Venom?
Yes, which means we have to watch
I was
Venom.
going to include Venom, and I don't think so. Look,
I
I
thought
love
Venom was a lot of fun.
I think we should watch
Tobey
Venom.
Maguire.
We gotta watch Venom.
Venom is fun.
All right, off top. Oh man, Venom's
I
not
have
on
a
this
crush-
list. But I
I
haven't
have
seen
a
Venom.
crush on.
You haven't seen Venom?
No, I want to though.
What?
I
It's
wanna,
fun.
I want to watch it with Christina for the first time because it's a Spider-Man movie.
No,
Cute.
I don't want to watch.
Christina, if you don't fucking watch Venom, I'm going to not pay you $10. With a message
I don't-
saying, I love you so much.
Oh dang. Okay, you
That-
know what? Now that Darian's gonna do that, I gotta.
That's an in joke.
Just watch Venom.
I'm not
Venom's
gonna
fun.
explain. I'm not gonna explain that in joke. All right.
It's okay, leave it how it is.
Oh, I get it now.
Avengers Thanos Quest.
It was $5 too.
I know, that's why I'm gonna bump it up.
Guys, where do we
Let's
put
get back to some movies.
where do we put Avengers Grimace's Big Adventure?
Cool.
I think Fistchin. I think it was genuinely a good movie, but it definitely would not work without the Marvel stuff. So definitely not S tier. I'm not sure if I'm willing to say A tier anywhere,
I'm thinking
but it's definitely B tier to me.
I'm thinking
Really?
like Come on. There.
Which one's that one? I can't tell which one. Oh, Infinity.
Yeah,
Infinity War.
I really like gonna say Far From Home definitely wins poster design, right? Ant-Man and the
Yeah.
Wasp.
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is probably next on poster design, but like there's a gap. There's an entire tier gap between these two.
Yeah. The The poster, like Infinite, it just has so much going on.
We should do
That's too
Yeah,
much.
it's got a hell of a lot going on, but it still looks really good.
after
Like,
after we're done this, we should really quickly do a poster. Like I'll save this image and then we
Poster
should
tier
really
list?
yeah, just
Oh my god.
because that's gonna be very different, and I think it'll be pretty
We
quick.
all know that you're gonna say that Hulk is the best.
No, Hulk is really bad for posters. Hulk's poster is very bad.
I know, that's why
It's
I said
just
you
too
were gonna
dang
say it
dark.
was the best.
Like, look at the Hulk poster. Now look at the
Uh-huh.
Thor. Now look at the Thor poster. Now look
Yeah.
at the Thor 2 poster.
I don't see a
Which
difference.
Thor?
They're the same.
Now look at the Civil War poster, or not the Civil War poster. Sorry, the Winter Soldier poster.
Uh-huh.
They're all bad. I don't like them.
Yeah.
All right.
They're all. There's no difference.
Adventure's Totally Bogus Journey.
I fucking love Bill and Ted. Okay, don't disrespect.
Where are we putting Endgame, guys?
Endgame's a fine conclusion, but it definitely, again, does not work at the Marvel stuff, and it's strongly beholden onto Infinity War. So, as a standalone movie, it's definitely not good on its own.
Hey,
It's definitely also just another Iron Man.
yeah. I put it top of C tier.
It has a major Iron Man part on it, but I feel like the Iron Man parts in that one was good because it wasn't as like.
I
don't know.
put it top of C tier,
Little
which puts it as the highest ranked Avengers other than Infinity War. Actually, it puts
I am fine with that. I'm also kind of feeling bottom of B tier because
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's not rewatchable. It's just very long.
I agree
feel
with that. The only reason I'm going to keep it
But-
in C tier, like I think, like yeah, actually it goes here, but then the tiers get really wonky, so that's the only reason I'm keeping it here.
No, I think
Okay,
it's
fair.
fine. Put it back. It's
Alright.
fine.
There we go. It's fine. Okay. I mean, Marvel being primarily B tier actually feels very right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's watch the Captain America movie. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. No, I'm fine with it being there because like it is definitely rewatchable, but I feel like Chase said, it is very beholden onto Infinity War, and Infinity War
Yeah.
is like.
I don't think it's super rewatchable personally. That's why I put it in
Okay.
C tier. But because I think like a lot of its like gags, like Fat Thor gets sadder and sadder the more you look at it. Because it's like, man, they didn't teach him respect. And then like you're
Oh,
like,
man, I
I
totally
just remember-
forgot about that. I totally
what
put
I-
that out of my brain. Put
And
it
then-
back to.
yeah,
Fat Thor's kind of
Move it
funny,
back.
but they
Move
do
it
have
back.
two very dated things. That being
Thank you.
Rockman playing Fortnite
yeah.
and Hulk dabbing in like what 2023.
Oh, and
Oh
then
my
like,
God.
and then like Hulk's. Yes, well, that's when you know
Why
it's
did
the
they
dark
do it?
timeline.
It's like
That.
a bunch of like 50-year-old dads were like, "What's cool with the kiddos today?"
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
like,
straight up.
No.
and then like they
Just
also
like the superheroes on their own wasn't good enough.
right, like there's a lot of really good funny gags and there's a lot of fun moments, but I don't think a lot of them hold up on rewatch. So
And, you know, honestly, I'll say it because I feel like
Having
I'm
rewatched it.
I feel like now that I'm actually thinking about it, because when I first was thinking about it, I was just like clinging to like this is the end of it all, and it was like this big bang moment. But now that
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it, holy crap, there were moments in the theater where I was literally falling asleep.
yeah,
And
I just
Like,
remembered how
there
bad
were-
the ending of it actually was.
there were moments that
Yeah.
I loved, like
Oh, you mean when they
There-
fight Big Gray Thanos?
yeah, you know.
Yeah, well, okay, my beef with the end is that it would be really cool if they were actually able to overcome the army with the people that they had, but then Captain Marvel just kind of shows up and is like, yeah, I'm here to save you guys, and then does.
Ish. But like
Yeah.
She OP.
but there's still moments that I really, really enjoyed, and those were all like the individual moments, like when they were all split up, for example, and had their like emotionally like heartbreaking things that were happening.
I think if they had
with
made
character development, I like those.
if they had
Those are
made
good.
almost all of the movie be inside of Avengers 1 like it was, I think that would have been interesting. Like I think there was a lot more interesting going on with the Back to the Future stuff than there was with anything else. Than with the big dumb
I mean,
battle.
Instead, they brought us back to Thor 2.
I mean, I liked Black Widow dying. I wish they had done more with her, but because they didn't, I was okay with it.
I didn't like Black Widow dying because it's like this is the character who sells the least amount of toy, but that's me. Christina, what you want to say?
But
I watched both of Infinity War and like those are the only like Avengers movies I've seen, and I don't remember what.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's fair. That's fair too. But like my thing with Black Widow dying is like the only reason I'm okay with it is because they literally didn't do jack diddly with her character, so I didn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? It's a bad character at this point. Like, get rid of it. Bad fire.
They didn't do nearly enough with Black Widow or Hawkeye for us to care at all.
Oh,
about that
I cared
scene.
more about Hawkeye, to be honest.
Yeah.
Hawkeye had more character development.
Like,
Black
they
Widow
totally did more with him, but just like still not enough.
Black Widow is interesting in Winter Soldier and in no other movies.
Yep.
You're right.
Not even in her own movie.
I've
Probably.
never probably.
Maybe, I don't know.
It's not out yet.
What if
Who
what if
knows?
her own movie leaned heavily on marketing the guy from Stranger Things and seemed like it may be kind of bad?
What if her movie is more about like Iron Man or some shit?
I
Anyway,
mean,
just-
oh, you mean
I can't believe
Spider-Man?
It's just gonna be a Hawkeye movie.
Just spilling some tea out there.
All right.
Give Hawkeye his own movie, please.
Speaking of Iron Man,
Yes.
let's talk about Iron Man 3.
No,
Why it belongs at
No.
the top of this list.
no,
You haven't seen it, Christina.
I don't like Iron Man.
Here's the thing: neither does Iron Man. That's the point of Iron Man
That's true.
3.
That's
Wow.
that's like the thing that I really love about Iron Man himself. He's like all
Hey,
that
in that
self-loathing.
case, just watch
Can't
BoJack
relate.
Horseman. It's better.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that MCU's the pinnacle of all movies. That's not what we're doing here. We're
Yeah,
not.
because both Bill and Ted movies are definitely above
Yeah, those are.
Guardian and Iron Man 3.
I mean, remember we said like S tier is a good movie you would want to watch, no matter whether or not it was tied to that MCU. And we now have we have 2 films here that I have placed here that only I have suggested. So I think that kind of tells us where we're standing on this. But no, here's my thoughts on Iron Man 3 really quick. It's dealing.
Well, hold on. Look who's actually making the list, though. It's like you have control over it. So like we can
Yeah, but
say something.
he is.
But
He
what
is
else-
listening to our opinions. He's listening to our opinions, which is good.
Yeah.
I don't really have much opinion about Iron Man 3 because I still haven't seen. I know what happens, obviously by now. Like I know all the
discuss
spoilers.
it and see where it lands naturally.
Yeah,
But like I don't.
I'm just gonna set it here though, because this feels good for now. I'm gonna set it here while we discuss it.
And isn't like correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't like a big part of it Gwyneth Paltrow?
Not really, no.
No. not
Okay,
until the
good.
end,
Because I was
and
gonna
it's
say I
not
don't
well done.
really I don't care about her.
She-
Gwyneth Paltrow just becomes a damsel.
at the very end, yeah, that's actually one of the weaker spots of it.
Surprised. Not surprised.
One of the
Yeah.
weaker spots of
Women
it.
can't do anything. Okay, continue.
Well, she kind of does do something, but we'll talk about that when we get.
So there is a capable woman character. She's there, and then she goes away because, well. Anyhow,
The end.
anyhow, I'm gonna say one of the things that really makes me put this movie so high is they let Iron Man be afraid. They let him be beaten. They let him be weak. And they let, like, ultimately, he doesn't overcome his problems on his own. And he doesn't overcome his problems by being Iron Man and punching Jeff Bridges or saying, Jeff Bridges, you should have out Iron Man me. Now you're going to freeze to death, idiot.
Yeah.
Like,
So like they took all the good parts from the comic, all the deep like
kind of,
character development,
yeah.
and actually put it to movie.
But they did
Yeah,
something.
they let Iron Man be a character.
And like, if you take this as its own movie, like, as opposed to then they had to do like 8 more Avengers movies, so he doesn't actually get to retire as Iron Man. Like, it's a really good send off for the character. Like, he's sends off. He's like, I'm done being Iron Man at the end of it, and like makes actual changes to himself that kind of get ignored a little bit in the later movies, which kind of sucks. Same
Yeah,
thing.
I don't recall any ramifications of him actually like getting his like heart shrapnel removed.
No, there's not. It's the same as there's no ramifications for there being no shield in Winter Soldier. Like they have a shield helicarrier in Ultron. But I put that
Yeah.
more on the movies that follow more so than on Iron Man 3 itself.
Yeah,
Uh,
that which is fair. And you
uh,
know what? There is a good. I mean, there was a send off in Endgame. literal send off
yeah,
for
Yeah,
Iron
and that's it.
Man.
No more Tony Stark.
But to be fair, he
Give
had
it a
the
year.
whole like to go back. He had the whole like retirement in Endgame, which was mostly because he's like, I have a family now. Again, I don't have Iron Man 3, like I don't know, so I haven't seen it.
and Iron
But
Man, yeah, Iron Man
so
3 is how he gets to the point he could be in Endgame, and I think if Endgame like followed up Iron Man 3 as opposed to Infinity War,
immediately
his character
it would have been better.
his character would have made a lot more sense. Like his character was ready for Infinity War right after Iron Man 3.
You mean his character was ready for Endgame?
Endgame, yeah, sorry. His character was ready for Endgame right after Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Because I guess in Infinity War he's like, actually being Iron Man owns. Look at my coolest, most powerful Iron Man suit. So yeah,
Yep.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah,
Not to mention he shows off for Bruce.
yeah.
Yeah.
That bromance, though. That bromance.
That's a good.
Mhm.
OTP.
Yeah, that's good character stuff. They also like
TP. I ship it.
like I think for me Iron Man 3 feels a lot like the other franchise film that I think is like transcends like is a good film even outside of its franchise, which is Star Trek Wrath of Khan. In that they're
Still
both
haven't seen it.
oh, you should see that one.
Yeah, I should.
You should actually watch pretty much all of the original series motion pictures except for Generations because that one's bad. Just because
Yeah.
like I think if you care about
I have seen that one.
oh that's the bad
Wow.
one.
That's a
Yeah, it
really
is.
bad one.
Like
Yeah, it's a bad
the
one.
the original series movies I think are good enough. Like I understand like not liking them too much, but like they're good enough. And I think
Yeah,
like
if you can look past the like 70s, 80s sci-fi cheese, then it's good.
I think like Wrath of Khan gets past that. Like it's just like it's set in that, but it's not like that's not the central thing like the rest of them are. But we're not talking about Star Trek right now. But for
Correct.
me,
We are now talking about My Hero Academia. Thank you for letting me gather you all here today.
when all might be friends with Iron Man, in this my essay, I will.
Oh,
No,
No,
but what I was
no,
what I was
it's not.
what I
who
was
would
getting at.
Bakugo get along with?
Nobody. He's anyhow. What I was getting at.
Oh, what were you about to say?
He's antisocial. He doesn't play well with others.
Mm,
What I-
gets what was.
What I was about to get at.
Continue.
What I was about to get at. What I was about to get at was. It feels like Wrath of Khan in that like. It's about a character from a series like Iron Man's in Iron Man and the Avengers at this point. Like it's about a character that's like established from a series and they're like the hero of that series and they get away with being just kind of a superhero. And then they meet a problem they can't just be smarmy and superhero-y about and actually have to deal with that and deal with the fact that their superhero-ness actually like them just kind of being like, well, problem solved, time for me to fly away home now has caused problems for everybody else around them. And I think it's a more interesting look at superheroes than pretty much any other film in the Marvel thing, which is why the only one I put above it is Guardians, which isn't really about superheroes.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it. And like I said, I haven't seen. So
Yeah.
sorry, I'm just looking at a picture.
I guess
where
I'm
they
mostly
put-
talking to Chase at this point. Aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting patiently for my turn to
It's your turn. That was
Sorry.
it.
why I don't like Iron Man 3 all that much.
I got distracted by someone putting Dio's face on Mirio. And it was really funny. Continue.
Okay, so a couple of things that I don't like about Iron Man 3 so much is that Tony's PTSD is treated well. I think it's a fine addition to him.
Yep.
But it makes a lot more sense because we actually saw it happen in Avengers. We saw the traumatic event.
Yeah.
Without that, I feel like it wouldn't come across nearly as well.
I think they do make a sort of here it is for you, right? Like they do have the flashback and they have the kids and they have the news reel. Like they do sort of do a little bit to do that. It definitely does bill itself as a sequel to Avengers in that sense.
Yeah, but like, how weird would it be if Iron Man 3 was standing alone and they were just like, Oh yeah, this guy also fought an alien army and got sucked through a wormhole.
Well, if Iron Man was standing alone, it just wouldn't have been the wormhole. It would have been him being kidnapped. Would have been his PTSD.
Right. It would have been something else in the Iron Man realm.
I mean, I guess that's fine. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like there's a lot of bad things that have happened to this boy. So
Yeah,
Yes.
totally.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe it's just the sci-fi enthusiast that likes the idea that he had the potential to get stranded in some corner of space.
Oh yeah, like I think that's a cool addition. I think they like did good to like have him have seen that, have seen how terrible, like have been at the edge of space. It really would have worked better if the aliens and Avengers were at all threatening. Because like,
Yeah.
don't they give like a death count in Civil War, and it's like in the hundreds? Like it's less than like, not to make light of the current national tragedy, but like it's less than like coronavirus, or I think it's less than the Two Towers attack. Like it's less
Wow,
than.
I can't believe the flu kills more people than
I was
this
about to
guy.
say it's definitely less than the flu.
Yeah, like it's
Shout out to Fox News. Just kidding. They suck.
like the but like honestly like it's for the scale of attack that like these cities have, like the death count or even injured count, it's like hilariously low, which doesn't really work with what Civil War wants, because Civil War is like, use superheroes or lose cannons. They could be like, no, actually, hold on real quick, let me just, here's a similar thing that happened without superheroes, and you see how the death count, like it's much smaller scale, and you see the death count is larger, but like I think that would have made it work better. But again, if you're just looking at it as stand, like I think the things around it weaken it. I think it's actually the only film in here that is shackled and made worse by being attached to the rest of these. Because
Which one are you talking about? Still Iron Man 3?
Iron Man 3, yeah, because that's the last
Yeah.
one on there. Because like, I think if the aliens were actually threatening, again, if it wasn't part of that, it would have been something we all know is threatening, which is being kidnapped in a foreign country. But like,
You know, Mickey Rourke, you know, he's threatening too.
he wasn't though. He wasn't.
I know.
That's why Iron Man 2 is down here in that's why Iron Man 2's there in the Thor 2 tier.
In shite tier.
But like, yeah, I think if the threat in Avengers was actually threatening, and I think if he actually wasn't Iron Man immediately again in the next film he's in, it would have been way more interesting as far as that goes. But if you're taking it as a standalone movie, it's like, it just is interesting, right? Because you don't have to worry about what happens in the previous and the next movie, because it's its own movie. He had a traumatic event happen to him that caused him to have serious stress to the point where it's caused him actual trauma, right? Post-traumatic stress.
Yeah.
And
Okay, I get it. I see where you're going.
and he's
I see where we are at.
So like, hold on. Let me throw some tea down here.
go for it.
Let me spill it.
Don't.
I have a question because
for
I
it.
feel like, Alex, you mentioned earlier something about Iron Man 1 be like not I can't word right now. You're talking about it not being like they weren't planning on doing the Avengers at that point, but they were.
No, I didn't say that. Or at least I didn't say that here. I don't know that they plan
I
on
don't
doing the
think anyone
Avengers.
said that in here.
They did, because they had the little end clip at the end with Sam Jackson talking about the Avengers Initiative
Yeah, but if that had failed, they would have
on the big old donut.
Yeah, it was sequel bait.
Yeah.
But if Iron Man
It's
didn't
like-
do well in the box office, they would not have gone as far.
I mean, in the Hulk, they had
I'm just
they had
saying,
that one
they
guy
still
have a
had
big
plans.
brain. They had that one guy get a big brain. And
Yeah,
he's
Yeah,
like,
but
that went
none
nowhere.
of the
Yeah.
Hulk movies are good.
what's some of the? There's other plots that they've kind of had go nowhere. Remember in Age of Ultron where they had Ultron saved so we could come back later,
Oh yeah, we did talk
Yeah.
about that one.
But they killed.
and that's an after credit scene. Yeah, like they set up stuff. Like the great news about the way they do it, and the bad news about the way they do it is all these movies are modular, right? You could theoretically watch any of these or watch any block of these, and the characters would remain consistent, but there's not a whole lot of growth between them. So like.
Yeah.
So, like, they are modular. That's one of the reasons, like, I put Guardians and Iron Man at S tier here, because these characters actually change by the end of their films. One of the reasons I really argued for Guardians 2 being higher than it was is because those characters are different at the beginning of Guardians to the end of Guardians, to the beginning of Guardians 2 to the end of Guardians 2. Like, they all grow and change. They grow a
Wait,
little
where
bit.
did you want to put Guardians 2?
I wouldn't put Guardians 2 in A or S. Like I wouldn't put the Guardians movie both in S. I think those work on their own.
Really though?
I think they work on their own. But I put Guardians all the way
I
down
will
here.
agree with that. Guardians 2 doesn't work nearly as well as
Yeah.
an MCU movie because like it doesn't bring anything else to the table
Yeah.
besides introducing like metas. Because like they give Star-Lord like, oh, these god powers, and oh, I have daddy issues, and then they just rip it away by the end of the movie.
Same.
Yeah. Thank you, Darian. So yeah,
You're
I think. How do you guys feel about the tier list as it exists? Are there any like edits or changes we want to make real quick?
I still want to talk about Iron Man 3.
Okay.
No.
Specifically, I want to talk about the villain. We know.
Yeah,
we know the
Tony
Mandarin
Stark
was just the antagonist of the film. Thank you.
Okay.
So we know that the Mandarin was just like a poster boy to be on top of the like villainous acts of the actual villain, which was just dude in a suit.
Yeah. Well, I
feel like I don't really understand his motives so much. Besides, he was just vengeful that that Tony left him standing on top of a building on New Year's night.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, that wasn't so much like why he did stuff, but sort of informed how he did stuff, right? So like he wanted Tony to become part of his like think tank group, anyways, right? Advanced idea mechanics or whatever. And Tony didn't give him the time of day, and what he learned from that, Tony set the example that, hey, actually being cool and then just kind of disregarding people is how I get things done. And
so just become a capitalist.
More or less, yeah. I mean, that's Iron Man there. And the whole reason he created the Mandarin was twofold, because basically what happened is his program was to like. He was like, okay, Tony Stark built the suits. I'm going to do the next thing, which is to make the people turn into that, right? Because if your powers are inseparable from the suit, then that's good. And then those started exploding. He's like, okay, well, I need to.
So he's just trying to one up Iron Man. He's just Jeff Bridges again.
No, not really, because he was trying to do this before Iron Man existed, right? And then
yeah, of course, but like the motives are still the same. He's just trying to do what Iron Man did, but better.
Kind of like I don't think he was because it was something he was working on before Iron Man existed. Like I don't think he was as interested in directly one-upping Iron Man. I think he was
like that wasn't the engine that initiated his fielding into this, but it became the motive in the end.
Sort of like when Iron Man became a direct problem. So like he had a couple things he wanted to do. One is he was using basically his failed test. He was then turning those into false flag terror attacks, which is a kind of a tried trope in these superhero movies. But anyhow, he was turning those into that. So that did two things. One is that hid the failures of his tech stuff. But two is it created a general panic, which drove up the market for his super soldiers. And
so he was just a capitalist.
Yeah.
I can't believe he's just George Bush.
That's again a lot of these. That's also the villain in Aquaman, but
didn't see Aquaman.
You should watch it.
I was trying to make a dumb Bush did 9/11 joke.
Yeah. But like no, like Aquaman is legitimately like Bush did 9/11. Like it's a guy who wants to come to power by orchestrating human terror attacks so that he can unite everybody to fight to go blow up the humans.
Wow, I can't believe that is just George Bush.
Yeah, it's Bush did 9/11 the movie, but like so like his whole idea is he's like the capitalist futurist part of Tony. Like he's like a dark mirror to him in that sense. Down to even having the same love interest. And like
fair, I see where you're getting at, but like this is a lot of discussion to get to this point. I didn't feel like any of that came across as clearly as it could have in the movie itself.
I mean, fair. Like again, I think it could have been made clearer, but like as soon as you see it, you're like, oh yeah, that's obviously what they were going for. I think like also like one of the reasons I also moved it down there, in addition to like them not really like Pepper being kind of weak in that movie, was shoot, words gone. Oh yeah. Do you remember? Do you remember the whole plot in there where they had the vice president was going to stage a military coup using
I
Albert
barely
Killian?
remember that. Why did that happen?
I mean, from Killian's point of view or from the vice president's point of view? The vice president because he was a politician. Killian's point of view is, oh, this guy's going to straight up give me military contracts. Yeah, absolutely. But like,
So Vice President was just trying to be he was just trying to play politics, and Killian was again the capitalist that's trying to let him do his thing.
yeah,
I can't believe it's just capitalism in the movie.
yeah. The movie's really like, well, it's not only that. It's like capitalism maybe kind of is bad. The movie, like our hero gives up his company, gives up his like marketable persona, and decides to go to do actual philanthropy.
Not that fake ass philanthropy that real billionaires do.
Yeah, pretty much. He gives up everything to go do that at the end. And then Avengers 2 happens, and actually, no, he's back to Iron Man 2 levels. But that's another discussion.
That's a different movie.
That's why it's in Thor 2 Trash Tier. Because they hit the reset button on Tony Stark.
They did. They said, what if we got rid of all of the cool, good character development? What would happen?
Exactly. I just realized I haven't looked at the chat at all. So I
I
hope...
muted my phone a while back.
Which chat?
Oh, nobody's in here. This Twitch chat. But nobody's in here. It's fine.
Oh yeah. I'm also staring at Twitch, and nobody said anything.
I don't know if we have viewers. I presume not. Like, I presume, like, the only people who follow me for Exceed stuff, so that's fine.
Well, let's put it like this. Currently, there are 3 people watching, and then there are 3 people see your screen, except for through the stream.
Okay, that makes sense. Very well.
Brain, good. Brain, do good.
Yeah, see, man, I at least have one wrinkle in my brain.
Yeah, whatever, Denki.
So yeah,
I'm dinky.
have I convinced you to let me leave Iron Man 3 in S tier?
Yeah.
Fine.
Excellent. Then we can save this.
I tuned you out like 10 minutes ago, dude.
That's fair.
We had discussion to make.
I've downloaded that image. Now, here's the important question. Gotta hit that reset button here.
Okay.
The real
Important question. I'm ready.
real important question.
Are we
Oh.
doing the poster art?
Yeah, let's. I didn't realize there was a presentation mode. All right.
Poster.
Hold on a second. I didn't realize there was a presentation mode. So let me just.
Spider-Man #1, S tier.
Far From Home, absolutely. That's the good poster. That's the only one that goes in. That's the only one that goes in S tier.
That's the
Far
good
From Home's a
good.
good poster.
That's a good. That's a good.
I'm gonna say A tier. You get Ragnarok. Where's Ant-Man and the Wasp? Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I also
Ant-Man.
I want to put Doctor Strange in A tier.
Where's Doctor?
That's this one. This Golden Compass one.
I think that one looks cool. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Like, and it definitely gives off a vibe of what the like weird, wild, magic, dimensional bullshit.
Yeah, I think B tier we put not first Guardians of the Galaxy, get back there. Guardians 2 almost did the Star Wars thing they wanted to do, but they were just too busy and not artsy enough. I really
What
like.
about?
I hope you were about to say what about Spider-Man because that's the one I put there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's probably. Oh, Civil War also could go here because it's got.
Yeah, I was gonna say Civil War.
Yeah.
You're
almost
Civil
there.
War's good. I'm kind of feeling Endgame and maybe Infinity War.
No, it's not in B.
It could do Infinity War. That's fine. Endgame for me is like top of C.
Fair enough. I'll accept that.
Infinity War, I would still say C. Like that's too much.
I mean, but
yeah,
that's
it's a huge ensemble and
that's
a big
also
ass finale.
that's
You have
also
to
what
showcase
Infinity War
everyone.
is. That's also Infinity
but
War
it
is
hurts.
too much. The movie.
But it hurts to look at. Like when I look at that,
Don't look at it.
well, if
That's
I'm
not a good
talking
poster.
about
You know what? You know what?
good
It's not like
posters, I want
it's
to
the
look
movie.
at
It's
it.
just the poster.
It is also
If
the
I'm-
movie.
if I'm- It is also but like if I'm looking at the poster, I want to be able to look at it. I'm like, let me judge this movie based on the cover, and it's shit.
All right. C tier is where we start to get into like forgettable but like still movie posters, right?
Don't judge a book by its cover, Darian, except for Thor 2.
It is bad.
Thor 2 will probably be the only thing that's in the bottom tier for. Well, no, Thor 2 and Ultron are probably going to be
Yeah, I was
the
about
ones.
to say Ultron is really
Winter
bad.
Soldier's bad.
Actually, all of
Hulk is
all of
bad.
all of F tier is going to be in the bottom here. Really quick, C tier is like these are movie posters, but they're not particularly exciting movie posters.
What
D
about Ant-Man? I think Ant-Man should go there if Captain America's there. Ant-Man should go there. They're like
Captain America has like
the same thing.
has like
No.
no Captain America has like explosions and contrasting colors
Yeah,
just so that you
it
notice
has a
more
spot, like a color splash.
and a sepia
The
tone.
the only color splash for Ant-Man is the red. But like Black Panther, I look at that and I say, is that an X-Men movie?
Hey, why weren't the X-Men movies in this?
Because
Also, where was Fan
they're not
Really quickly here,
they're not owned by the same.
really quickly in
Yeah,
the
they're Marvel movies.
really quickly in the dollar store movie bin. I'm just gonna put the rest of these here real quick, just in an order I feel is correct. That one can go there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So far.
Guardians. Yeah, that's a good call. I want to put that. I actually want to put Iron Man 2 a little bit on top of Winter Soldier.
I'd agree with that. Yeah, the only tier list where that's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, of course.
I feel pretty confident about this.
Avengers is fine.
It's generic. Hulk is so bad.
The Hulk
is just dark.
The Hulk one.
Hulk is like booty.
Nothing's interesting.
The Hulk one could have been so much more interesting. So much. All right, cool. I'm good with this. All right. Does that work for you guys?
Yeah, why not?
All right, cool. Gonna
See how easy that was. Why couldn't we have made the MCU tier list that easy
well,
instead of just the poster art?
Opinions. Because opinions.
because the poster art's very bad for the most part, and there's one very good one and a couple that are okay.
Okay, what we should do though is you should just kind of post this in all of the places and not give it any context and just watch people angrily scream at you.
This is the thumbnail for the video, right?
Yes!
You'll get so many clicks.
You'll get so many views. People are gonna be like, "Oh wow, this guy hates good movies."
Bait.
I mean, to be fair, the other tier list is also going to be very controversial because we put Avengers and Iron Man very low, and we didn't put Endgame or Infinity War very high.
Fair, yeah.
So,
fair enough.
I'm gonna.
That's because those people can have bad opinions if they want to.
Yeah.
I know Christina probably won't be able to join in this one. I don't think she watches Star Wars, but we should do a Star Wars one at some point too.
We should. It is not now, not at this juncture, but we absolutely should.
No. Yes.
I'm very interested in doing that.
I'm not super big on Star Wars. Not sure if I'd be in that.
We'll figure out who's in what later, but I think I'm gonna end the stream now. Stop.